Hello everyone, I am Salman Ibn Yunus. In this presentation, I will talk about a paper titled Federated Learning for COVID-19 Screening from Chest X-ray Images. So let's start the presentation. In this paper, the authors have developed a system for detecting COVID-19 from chest X-ray images, which is based on federated learning. So what is federated learning? Federated learning is a distributed machine learning approach which allows multi institutional collaboration on deep learning projects without sharing client or the user's data to organizations. So, what does it mean? In federated learning, the training data is kept on local device users rather than storing it to a data center or to a centralized server. The nodes does the computations and training from their own data and updates a global model. So this ensures that the centralized server or the company working on the data doesn't receive the personal data of the users or the clients. Actually, what happens is that the centralized server only receives the updated model and its parameters. It doesn't receive the individual user or the client's data. So in case of COVID-19, what happens? The COVID-19 virus attacks the epithelial cells that line our respiratory tract. So chest X-ray images can be used to analyze the health of a patient's lungs. So when chest X-ray images are analyzed with AI, it is much faster and cost effective. So it's a cost effective way of COVID-19 screening. So what are the main contributions of this paper? This paper has proposed a decentralized and collaborative framework that allows clinicians like doctors to share rich private data while conserving the privacy of the patients. They have also shown that despite the decentralized data, the non IID or the not independent and identically distributed and unbalanced properties of data distribution, the proposed FL framework works very well and gives a competitive results in comparison to a centralized conventional approach. They have performed extensive experiments and comparisons with different variations, which shows the significance of the proposed strategy and can be helpful for diseases like COVID-19. So now I will explain the data set and how they prepared the data. So when they collected data, there was no large public data set of COVID-19 cases. So the data set used in this research only contain 108 chest X-ray images from 76 confirmed COVID-19 patients and another 108 group of 108 images from a group of healthy patients. So the 108 images of healthy patients were randomly selected from public chest X-ray datasets. The dataset is then randomly split with training set containing 80% of the images and test set contains 20% of the images. The training dataset is then split into k subsets where k equals to 4 for k-fold cross validation. Since the dataset is small, the data augmentation is applied to artificially expand the size of the training and test subsets by creating modified version of the images like cropping the image and rotating, adjusting the brightness, etc. So as you can see that there is a example in the left about affected cases, images of affected cases and original dataset, and also some examples of the augmented dataset are shown. So they have their proposed framework is an FL framework, which federated learning framework, which is based on client server architecture, which implements the Fed AVG algorithm proposed by them to classify infected and healthy patients. So as you can see that the central server shares the initial model, and then the model is trained on the local data sets, and the local models are updated using private data and generates new updated model. And then finally the model and the updated parameters are sent to the centralized server, where which averages the new updates and generates a new model, which is a new update model. But the central server doesn't receive any private data of individual users or nodes. So they have so the clients coordinate to build a powerful model based on their private data set. So by using this training protocol, local data remains private to each client and never shared. So deep CNN model like VG16, ResNet 150, etc. is used to deal with feature extraction and to classify X-ray images, which outputs the probability of COVID-19 infection. So experiments are simulated with four clients or hospitals, and each client treats the local dataset as a single mini batch at each round. They have used the same CNN network on both the FL and centralized end with pre-trained weights on ImageNet. Two CNN architectures VG16 ResNet 50 are tested, which are referred as FL VG16 and FL ResNet 50. Each experiment is repeated 3 times and accuracy rates are reported on testing data. Decentralized method is also compared with the centralized one. The results show that the proposed FL framework is capable of achieving a comparable classification performance without sharing clients' data. FL results show a remarkable consistency in the simulated distributions. So as you can see that the FL VJ16 and FL RSNet 50 also performs well. To conclude, the main limitation in this work is the size of the dataset is very small. Moreover, they have also compared using two CNN architectures. So in future, the same work framework can be tested on a much larger dataset and can be compared with more sophisticated CNN architectures to increase the reliability of the experiment. Although despite these limitations, the researchers have shown a great feature prospect of federated learning framework which can improve the speed and accuracy in detecting COVID-19 positive cases. Due to framework like this, more hospitals can safely share their private data, which can be used to produce a better model which can predict COVID-19 cases with a far greater accuracy and precision. That's all from my part. Thank you for your time.